We are during the holiday season and I'm going to share with you three gifts we can give our children that are free, that by the way they're so valuable that money cannot buy. At this time of the year, I'm sure that you're already building your wish list. You're thinking about what you're going to give your children for Christmas. You are shopping in Amazon. And there are three things that if you give these three things to your children this holiday season, there is no bike or no skater or nothing, no doll, no expensive doll that could replace how they would feel once you give them these three things. It could change the trajectory of their lives because it will transform their self esteem. If you want to know what these three gifts are, then stay tuned. Stay tuned for this podcast episode. Hello, my name is Marcela Collier. I'm a certified parenting coach and founder of HIC Parenting Coaching Agency. My team of coaches and I have served 14,151 parents raise their children with peace. And welcome to another episode of the Parenting with Understanding podcast. This is the place where you get the insight, the tools and the support to break free from reactivity, bring peace to your parenting, and raise emotionally healthy children. So let's talk about the first gift, which is basically that providing the gift of providing a peaceful home environment to your children. What does that mean? What does having a peaceful home environment mean? Is it the absence of conflict? Is it the absence of encountering tough moments with your kids? Is it the absence of them? Uh, is it them listening to you all the time? A peaceful home environment is not a home environment where nothing happens. Matter of fact, if I were to hear someone saying, hey, in my house, my children, they don't tantrum, they don't cry, they always say yes to me, everything goes smoothly, bedtime is smooth, morning time is smooth, they do their homework, they never get into sibling conflict, they're like little robots. For me, that's a red flag. Because for me, that seems or that screams to me that the environment is so controlling that the children are afraid to be themselves. Because when children are not afraid to be themselves, they use their voice, they use their will, you see their personalities, and sometimes their personality goes against what you want from them. It goes against your plans, your bedtime plans, your morning plans. When they have siblings and they feel free to be themselves, they're going to get into conflict, because through conflict is that they learn how to relate to one another and learn and see each other's needs and feelings. So what is providing a peaceful home environment? I remember that I was um, I was talking to one of our clients. Their names are Lisa and Diane. And when they came to HIC Parenting, I asked them, "Why are you here?" They were in parenting coaching with us for 14 weeks. And in the very first session, they said, "We could very well take this money and spend it on a trip, but the trip would not be fun if it's full with fights and yelling and disconnection, and us not feeling well about our parenting, and our son feeling disconnected from us. So we would rather spend the money and invest the money on something that is going to make sure that wherever we are at home, the middle of the week, it is a school night or on a vacation, we are providing to our son a peaceful home environment." And for that reason, they decided to go through parenting coaching. At the very end, I asked them, I remember the last session, I asked them, "How do you feel now?" And then Lisa smiled and then she said, "I knew parenting could be like this. I knew it." I knew parenting could be like this. I knew it. And then her husband said, hey, it's not that our son doesn't have his moments. It isn't that he doesn't have tantrums. It isn't that he doesn't want to pick up his toys. It isn't that he's perfect or that we are perfect. But now we have the skills and the tools to solve whatever conflict comes our way with our son peacefully. So it's not providing a peaceful home environment. It's not about the absence of conflict. It's gaining the skills to manage conflict with peace. So what are these three skills? Number one, emotional regulation skills. So you know how to manage your emotions when you get frustrated, annoyed, overwhelmed, so you don't dump it onto your kids. Emotional regulation to help our kids with their own big emotions. Effective communication so we can communicate to them our boundaries, our instructions, our limits without yelling in a way they understand at their level, and the skill of understanding their needs, because every single behavior communicates a need. And if we look underneath the meltdowns and then the routine stalling and then the sibling fights, there is always a need. It could be the need for connection. It could be the need for understanding the siblings' needs and feelings. It could be the need of learning valuable skills, such as the skill of teamwork or such as the skill of waiting patiently for our turn. Every behavior communicates a need. So Dion and Lisa, they developed these three skills in coaching: emotional regulation skills, effective communication skills, and the skill of understanding their son's needs. And that's what gave them the transformation of providing the beautiful gift of giving their son a peaceful home environment. And if you want to learn these three skills, if you want to provide a peaceful home environment for your children, if you don't want to go to another year of struggle, of frustration, of yelling, of guilt, of anxiety, of power struggles, I have an invitation for you. There is a free class that you can access right now in hicparenting.com, where I teach you these three skills. These are part of our parenting with understanding system of needs to break free from reactivity, bring peace to your parenting, and raise emotionally healthy children. You can find this free class on hicparenting.com. The link is in the description of this video, or I'm going to leave a card up here if you're watching from YouTube, up here above the video. If you're just listening to the podcast, just open the description of the podcast episode and it's there, or you can go to our website, hicparenting.com. If you are on Instagram or on TikTok, this free class is in the link in our bio. Number two, the second gift to give your child during this holiday season that money cannot buy is the gift of quality time. So, what is this? My eye is itchy. The gift of quality time is quality time playing with your kids. It's quality time going to the park. It's quality time going on a vacation. Yes. However, on the day to day basis, we are not always able to access going to a vacation or playing soccer with our kids outside all day or all afternoon or going to the park every day. So we close our minds thinking, I cannot give my children quality time. I want to challenge you, and I challenge myself. Let me give you, or let me share with you, a very simple way and moment that I found like, yeah, this could be a moment of quality time. So I was ironing my shirt for the next day. It was late. It was 9 o'clock. My son, he was getting ready for bed. He already brushed his teeth, but he was supposed to be in his bedroom already, and I was in my bedroom ironing my shirt. I was ironing my shirt, and then he came in. I could have sent him right to his room, or I could do something differently. He looked at me, and then he observed me for about, I would say, 3 seconds. And then he said, Mommy, what are you doing? And I got a really clear flashback to my childhood because I asked that question when I was about 5 or 6 years old. My grandpa, he was cooking, and I asked him what he was doing. And then he sarcastically, very sarcastically, he looked at me and he said, I'm showering. Don't ask dumb questions. And that was the last time that I asked anything to my grandpa. That was the last time. So I had that flashback and I said, okay, my son, that question is just, Mommy, I need connection. And I know that he needs to go to bed too. And I was thinking, I'm going to be done ironing literally in 3 minutes. So instead of just sending him to his room, I'm going to connect with him during that moment, and then we're going to go to his room, and it's going to be a lot smoother and easier as opposed as if I'm just sending him to his room. He's going to feel disconnected and he's going to come out again. So I said, Son, do you want to learn how to iron? He looked at me, he said, Yes, yes. He's almost 9 years old. So I know he can handle that activity. And we ironed together for 3 minutes. It was literally 3 minutes. At the end of the 3 minutes, I was done. We went to his bedroom and he stayed there. We can curb down so many power struggles by just seeing what our children need at that moment and giving them quality time for 30 seconds, for 1 minute, for 3 minutes. Sometimes they just need us to listen to them for 30 seconds while they share with us what happened earlier that day for them. So quality time doesn't have to be this big thing. It could be a very simple thing that creates a very big impact on your overall routine. You could change bedtime by just including quality time in the process. You could transform your morning routine by just including quality time in the process. I'm going to drink water and let's move on to gift number 3 that money cannot buy this holiday season for your kids. And it is emotional support. What is emotional support? Is emotional support validating our children's feelings? It is part of it, but it has a little bit more to do with how we present ourselves during our children's moments of dysregulation or of chaos. I was one of my clients last week. She's a very new client. She's just starting her process here in HIC Parenting. She came defeated. And what she was telling me was, I've tried everything. I tried to give her kisses. I tried to hug her. I tried to offer her some water. I tried to be next to her and telling her she's okay. And I tried so much. And the more I tried, the more I fell because that doesn't calm my child down. And I said, I understand. That must be feeling really frustrating. And I hear you say as well that doesn't calm my child down. And that's exactly where I want to go. Because if that's your expectation, I'm doing this thing so she stops crying, she will read your intention. If your intention is an outcome, your children will read your intention. So, emotional support is basically being with them, through them, without expecting them to give you anything back. So, what happens when that happens? What happens when that happens? That they start seeing our genuine intention to connect with them, and more importantly, when we drop our agenda, we are able to really connect with them at an emotional level instead of trying to dig for all the strategies and tips and hacks and traps that we have stored in our mind from social media on how to get them to stop crying or melting down. Do you see the difference between providing support or providing emotional support with an expectation, with this is going to pay off by my child doing this for me, versus just being there with them through it. I did therapeutic foster care for 10 years. The kids that came to my care had high behavioral needs, meaning that, like, really high aggression, putting holes in the wall, like that kind of thing, breaking things. And I remember sitting with them through their hour meltdown. Hour meltdown. Was it an hour? It was an hour meltdown. Was I doing something wrong? Was I doing like was should I've done anything differently to make them to stop crying? No. They were living a very strong thing because those children come from a traumatic background. If they are in therapeutic foster care, is because they're living very heavy stuff in their lives. So their level of stress and trauma and emotional dysregulation is really high. So I sat with them through their hour meltdown. Through their 2 hour, there was one 2 hour meltdown. Now, do I see an hour and 2 hour meltdown with my own kids, with my twins? I don't. This is an extreme case, but I wanted to bring it up to tell you that that's what emotional support is: to be with them through their feelings, not to be with them to get them out of their feelings. So, the three gifts that money cannot buy for your kids this holiday season is: number one, the gift of you providing a peaceful home environment. Number two, the gift of quality time. And number three, the gift of emotional support without expectations, without agenda. Once you start giving your children these three gifts, they're going to feel so much connected, supported, seen. And the bike and the doll and the other physical things that you're going to give them this holiday season are going to come at a second place. They're going to feel that they're on the top of the moon by how connected and seen they're going to feel by you. I have a question for you if you're watching us from YouTube. Which one of these three gifts you can give your child today? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, this podcast episode, my encouragement for you is to share it right now with a friend. Share it with your mom or with your sister. Share it with your spouse. Share it with one person and let them know that they can give these three wonderful money cannot buy gifts for their kids. Thank you so much for watching or listening. And I want to let you know that you're a good parent. And it only takes understanding of your needs and of your children's needs to raise secure children. I'll see you next time.